Welcome to my rounding elevator game, paper prototype and critique. This game is designed specifically for players to demonstrate their knowledge of place value as well as rounding rules, i.e., or that is, when you're rounding for 5 or more, you raise the score. For 4 or less, let it rest. About my prototype comprises of a sketched outline of the rounding elevator game. It uses different color post-it notes to indicate the questions being answered at each level of the game. A sketch was done to show the emoji or avatar and the icons being used throughout the game, as well as arrows to indicate each progressive level of the game. Now this is a diagram that shows the design of the game. The players will progress from the very bottom, the ground level, identifying the place value, answering questions that relates to identifying the place value and the questions related to the rounding rules. If they don't get these questions, answer at least at least 3 of these questions correctly, then the game is going to kick them into the stairwell that has a couple of broken stairs and some snakes, and they have to avoid being eaten by the snakes and falling through the stairwell by answering the questions so that they can get back onto the elevator and progress in the game. Typically this game I'm gonna be using for its character the king emoji. Now, the core gameplay, to either side of the outline, as I showed before, this side and this side, I demonstrate the core gameplay, which requires the players to figure something out by answering all the questions correctly in order to gradually move one level up at a time until they reach the rooftop of the building where the gold nuggets await them. Now the game object and procedure. The basic game objects are character, for example the king math emoji or avatar, and then the icons for drag and drop to answer the questions, and then touch the correct bubble to answer the questions again, and then type the answer or fill in the blank and click to answer. And now the basic rules to be tested: players must attempt to answer each question correctly. If they answer 2 of the questions incorrectly, the elevator will stop. They'll have to exit and walk up a stairwell filled with broken stairs and snakes. While there, they'll attempt to climb the stairs and avoid being bitten by snakes by answering at least the 3 of 5 questions correctly. The more correct answers they have is the stronger the stairs become, and the less snakes they'll see until they are able to ascend onto the next floor and exit the stairwell and ride the elevator again. The game is completed when the player reaches the roof of the building to collect the gold nuggets, as I had mentioned before. Now, structural elements or actions to test. Some elements of the rounding elevator game that will be used to motivate learners and facilitate learning. It includes progressive mechanics, points, etc., narrative and characters, players control, immediate feedback, scaffolded learning with increasing challenges and opportunities for mastery. Formal details to be included: the use of an emoji or avatar to represent the players. The game will be designed for single or multi-user player. Also, badges will be awarded for each level of the game successfully completed. And that ends my presentation. And you can take a final look at the rounding elevator, the prototype, the paper prototype that I put together to show how the game is going to flow in terms of the design. Thank you for viewing my presentation. Have a good evening.